Welcome back, fam. Hope you had a great long weekend with the President's Day wrapping up. Here we are on Tuesday, the first day in the traditional market trading week, and we are live for the open. This is a new time for us. Hopefully you guys are, I don't know, hopefully you're happy about it because I'm not a morning person. But hey, if this time works out and we're enjoying it, we'll keep going live then. So smash the likes and subscribes. Let's get this stream going. We're going to touch on a lot of things today. We're going to take a look at the market week ahead. We're going to look at a bunch of charts. We have all kinds of stuff pulled up. Got stocks, commodities, forex, crypto, Bitcoin, altcoins, etc. So let's get in. Grab your brews. It's a little early, but hey, it's never too early. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Roll up and let's get into the charts. Let's take a peek here at just this economic calendar for the week ahead. We had, obviously, yesterday markets were closed, and into today. Not a lot necessarily today. In 26 minutes, we see existing home sales. We're going to get our numbers here. High numbers can suggest a strong economy. Low numbers can obviously suggest a struggling economy. I'm going to lean on the strong economy side. This is counterintuitively bearish, even though we would say, hey, strong economy, numbers go up, right? Well, usually yes, but a strong economy is going to dissuade the Fed from softening and potentially put March into maybe a 25, 50 BPS hike or a little bit more hawkish than it could have been elsewise. Tomorrow we have the FOMC meetings minutes. I'm not really sure why people are so interested in these. They never really say anything outside of what they said during the FOMC speech. But it is what it is. That's coming up tomorrow at 2 p.m. Later in the week, Thursday, we'll be live again on Thursday. Maybe at 9:30, depending on how much you guys like this time slot. We have a bunch of big numbers. We have GDP quarter over quarter for Q4. That's going to be a huge one, coupled with initial jobless claims and crude oil inventories. Friday, we're going to wrap up with the even bigger numbers of core PCE price index and new home sales in January. Basically, the news or the numbers, the catalysts this week are backloaded. We're going to see the big numbers coming out Thursday and Friday. Today we have a little bit. Tomorrow we have a little bit, but not really, in my opinion, big market moving numbers today and tomorrow. Looking at just our indices, US 30 and 50 down about 1% today, although they just started trading. So I guess in pre-market we're down. Dow Jones following suit, S&P 500, NASDAQ leading the downside with 1.12% decline today. The dollar pretty much flat at 103.9. Not seeing a lot of pressure coming from the Dixie as we have in the past. It seems to be trading sideways. Looking at cryptos. Everybody loves cryptos. Top 10s. Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, XRP down about 1.5 to 2%. Cardano -3 with OKB -3. Polygon MATIC down 6.1 after a big ripper of a rally. Probably not a bad thing to see a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of pullback. Turn them tunes back on. Oh yeah, shout out to our sponsors, Bybit and Marketcipher. Links in the video description below. Use any of the links to sign up and you'll help support the channel for free. It does make a difference. It helps. I appreciate you guys. It costs you nothing. You get a little bonuses just for using them. But a little pullback on Polygon MATIC. We might take a look at that. I didn't plan to, but you can see 17% on the week despite this pullback. Polygon's still making upside progress. Dropping out of the top 10, Doge down 2.5, Solana down 5, Polkadot, Lido, Staked Ether, SHIB. Pretty red day. Not a spooky red day, but a pretty red day across the board. We're seeing maybe the top 15, top 20, all in parallel losses. Biggest gainers on the hour, and we have some of these pulled up. Trust Wallet. We had a pretty slick trade on that. We'll pull up that later. Up 5%, Zilliqa. I never know how to say that. 2%, Gate, Bit, DAO, Radix, Kronos, Toncoin, and that's kind of it for the tops. The big gainers and losers, the micro caps. What's moving today? DAP Radar, never seen that one. Lena, never seen that one. Iris, I think I have charted before. Ankr network up 43% today, and you better believe we have that pulled up. We took a look at Ankr, I'd say late January. It had been consolidating around 2.7 cents. We put a trade in live, and that trade hit. So we have some spice to go over there. Top losers: Self-Key, Xmon, Level, Panther Protocol, Findora, Measurable Data, Paragons. I don't recognize any of these. If you're in chat and you recognize these, let me know. Put something in the chat. Actually, speaking of that, in general, if you're here, make sure that you're engaging with the live stream. The more engagement we get, the more YouTube pushes this out to new viewers. Engagement is liking, subscribing, voting in the polls, and chatting during the live chat, even sharing. Make sure you're doing all those things. It sounds like placebo, but it does make a difference. I appreciate you guys keeping the hype up in the chat. Ron C's here, and he says, engage Gina. Giggity. Giggity, 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 schmoigen. Cano Botch. What's up, man? Perfect time slot. All right. We'll see. We'll see. We went live 2 days ago at around 10:45. That was a pretty sweet time slot. We hit some good numbers. I like that. Hopefully today we can eclipse those. Hopefully today we can get even better numbers. We'll see. It's not quite as spicy today. Chattery Chat says Rubber Duck Films. What's up, man? Josh. Sumanth. YouTube channel. What a great name. Giggity giggity goo. That's right. Loopring TA Mr. Crown, says Sumanth. I've seen you in the comments after live, and maybe I'll reward that with a little bit of Loopring. I'm not sure anything really is happening with it, but I'll pull it up and put it on our list for today. All right, well, that's kind of that. I think we had some earnings today on stocks. This is not my comfort zone, but it looks like Walmart down 3.9% after the retail giant forecast full-year earnings below estimates. Home Depot down 4% after home improvement chain posted a surprise drop in fourth quarter comparable sales. General Mills rose 1.5%. Meta Platform down 1.8%. Visa down 1%. Credit Suisse down 5%. Man, Credit Suisse cannot catch bids. I remember looking at that a long time ago. It looks like an S coin. We have some of those pulled up, and we'll take a peek at some stocks. But let's get... Whoa, whoa. Little morning difficulties. Let's orient our compasses before we get too into it by looking at some macro charts. It's a new week, so we might as well look at the weekly charts. This is a short week with only 4 days of trading. Maybe we'll get some surprises. Something I wanted to start with today, just to get those compasses pointing north, the dollar. I see dollar bulls out there still, and it's odd to me. I do think we see a dead cat bounce. I do think we see the dollar trade back up, possibly into the 109, 110 area. I don't know when. That may come in Q2. It may come in Q3, maybe even Q4, but I doubt it. We had pretty inefficient price action on early November 22, when the dollar fell from 111 all the way down to 106 and change. That is an area I would look for the chart to retest. Definitely on a dead cat bounce scenario for a lower high. But just looking at this chart, what vibes do you get? Like, look at this parabolic run up starting in 21. It looks like it ended right before, Q4 of 22. Look at this. Am I crazy? Or does that look like a blow off top? Maybe it's because I've been in crypto so long and I just stare at crypto charts, but like that looks like a V-shaped top, right? And that's on the weekly. Let's invert this. If we saw this on a low, we'd be pretty excited. And to be honest, it kind of does look like something that we're going to take a peek at here in just a minute. Maybe not quite as V-shaped, but very inverse to the dollar. I don't know. Am I crazy? I think it would make sense to be bullish off of a dead cat bounce, or saying I'm looking for like 109. When or if that happens, we are likely to see all equities, stocks, crypto, commodities sell off against the dollar. But I don't really see this moving to a new all-time high. The Fed is closer to pivoting than they are to beginning the battle against inflation. We saw a huge dollar run up just basically on the foresight or the predicting of that coming. Now their language is softening. We're looking at smaller interest rate increases. Yes, this continue on for a year plus. They could have these rates higher, but like I just don't get it. With the U.S. battling The U.S. battling with a debt ceiling still and the Treasury printing money. I just don't understand the logic. Is 121 our old target, our original target on the dollar, still possible? Absolutely. But that target was much more, I guess, logical or much more in our radar when we were in that parabolic rally all throughout 21 and 22. It made sense. It's like, that's the next upside resistance if you get past 100. But then you zoom out on the dollar chart and you're like, why would I really even think it will get there now? Now that we've seen this V shape, or I'll say a blow off top, kind of similar to back here at 85. Actually, very similar. See the rally up and the V shape down. No dead cat bounce there. But the dollar has painted, it looks like, since 1960, lower high, lower high, lower high. Like, to break 121 now, I don't know. It's definitely possible. Maybe we see as low as 100 before. But I'm not on it. I'm not on that train. I'm not on that train. I think we see the dollar trade to 100 before it trades to 121, if it ever does. Let's look at Marketcipher B here, because I know, unfortunately, the dollar looking pretty strong. The week is, in my opinion, looking to roll over, but I do see some short or mid-term upside here with money flow, momentum, and VWAP pointing up. The day looks great. The day looks like it wants to roll over, and that does play into that weekly. As the weekly pulls up with the daily, I think we hit a lower high on money flow on the day, and that's probably what will bring the dollar to this. I don't have a time frame on that, but I think this is the mid, possibly even short-term future. So, I have alerts set pretty tight here for the dollar. I think, well, obviously, a break of 104.6, and we're going to see more upside, more blood in markets. But, man, I just don't get it. I want to know your thoughts, chat. Let me know. I wanted to look at government bonds. So I'm not super familiar with these because I'm a millennial. Why would I know anything about bonds, right? You guys, maybe some of our older investors, more matured investors do. I'm getting interested in them, not really from an investment point, but just when the hell are they going to stop going up? The 10-year yield at 3.9%. The 2-year yield, it's still inverted, 4.6%. And I think if we actually add the 6-month, is it US? What is US 6-month? I think the 6-month is even higher than that. Nope, it's about equal. It's a really weird time still, yet it feels weird right now in the economy, but it doesn't feel as weird as I will say it should be. Basically, what this is, to my knowledge, and I'm learning as well alongside with you, is a 6-month government bond yields at 4.85%. With an uncertain market right now, why would people, it's like, this is such an attractive investment. Bonds are essentially a guarantee of a return, even though there's no such thing as guarantees. Bonds are as close as it gets. Market participants likely moving to bonds. This is a strange time for that guaranteed, very low risk return. What's interesting to me is all of them are inverted. I think at this point, you see the 6-month higher yielding than the 2-year, which is higher yielding than the 10-year. That's completely backwards. Logically, the longer you lock up your assets, the higher yield you should receive. That doesn't seem to be the case right now. What is going on? When are they going to fall? When do we have the yield bond reckoning? I've never actually used indicators on these, but I want to take a peek. Interesting. Really strong money flow on the week. You see some signs of rolling over, but I'm going to guess down on the day we're seeing that roll over. Yep. And that's approaching the zero line on money flow, looking to make a move to the upside. Like, holy hell, what happens if these keep going up? At some point, it makes no sense. At some point, in my opinion, it makes no sense to invest in anything else. And that should then what? Like collapse markets? I don't know. Doom and gloom. Doom and gloom. Let's move on. We'll get into Bitcoin, but I want to kind of do these stockish stuffs first. Take a peek at the S&P 500. Opened down today, 403. Hasn't quite reached 430. This we've been looking at SPX and we were looking for like 4,300. I guess this is like just the same thing. 430 versus 4,300. Still waiting for that test. Broke its descending trend line. Curious, what do we have in store here? Kind of a weak money flow for the S&P. That's not ideal. This is pretty inverse to what we saw on the dollar. We see our money flow high was doing very well at the start of February. We broke after setting a lower high. VWAP is very heavy and so is momentum. That's ugly. Weekly. Looking about the same with a lower low here. Chart starting to turn down after this rally. Yeah. This is looking pretty bullish. No, it's not. No, it's not. From a macro, I do like this. We have a low, a lower low, and a higher low, and that is pretty inverse head and shoulders-ish. We haven't seen that resolve, and honestly, that all goes out the window. Looking to our right shoulder here, 374. Trading below there, and this pattern's just off. This pattern's no longer in play. And likely what? You move down to your pre-COVID support? Pre-March 2020 support? I'm glad that we don't get like shadow banned now if we say the word COVID like we did in 2020. But I still say March 2020 because it's safer. Because it's safer. What about the month? Is there something here? Okay. Monthly resistance here at like 408. We saw a higher high. This is actually a pretty ugly candle. With only 7 days and 7 hours of trading to go. This actually kind of looks like a monthly rejection. Following the pattern we've seen, though, for maybe a year, looks like this is very range-bound between 413 and 375. So a trip down into the 380s really would just be on par. Monthly money flow looks okay. I do see a long-term rolling over, but at least for now, in the short term, I see some upside. That's not bad. Maybe if February can close up higher than 384, we'll see maybe a push to 450. That wouldn't be too bad. All right, we got all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's take a look at the corn. So I set up a very simple chart. We've been doing a lot of live streams. We've been live here every other day. So if you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, join us. We're racing Bitcoin to 100K, and we're winning thanks to your help. We've been streaming a lot more, and so our analysis has gotten more and more zoomed in many ways. And so I wanted to create a very simple chart, and this is what I came up with. For all of you fledgling TAs out there, this is maybe a learning moment. As you start your TA journey, you will kind of feel lost. There's so much, there's so many tools and so many things you can look at, what's best, right? And what you'll find is that you start adding more and more and more and more until you get to the point where your chart starts looking like someone took a child's painting and put it in a blender. There's just lines everywhere, numbers everywhere, virtually like every number on the side on your scale here marked up. And what happens is now you've overloaded yourself with information. Too much information is worse than not enough information, in my opinion. So it is an art and a practice to simplify, to subtract. True mastery is subtraction, only showing what's important. So this is pretty much what I came up with. I think we could say there's one more line here that we might want to place. This is my most simple take of Bitcoin. Right now, we have a very interesting macro, or weekly macro for Bitcoin. Our descending high trend up here, coming on down. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks now, we've broken out, back tested that trend, and we've moved to the next resistance. So this is pretty spicy. Like this is very basic, not a lot to read into, but I like this setup. We saw the week pretty much perfectly bump and run. We haven't seen the run yet, but we've seen many other coins do this. Basically hit that bump and run, break the high, and just go nuts, right? Moving up to their S&P breaking. I just got an alert. Moving up to their next resistance. Let me actually pull that back up. Let me pull up the SPX one because we're more familiar with this. No. Dollar, or the S&P 500 opened down. Now looking to take a little dump ski. Has the dollar responded? Not really. Dollar inching up here with the S&P inching down. Oh man, this is too much. Remember what I was just saying about your charts simplification is mastery. That's a great example. Too much going on there, can't get any value out of it. If you simply pick every number, you're not going to be wrong, but you're also never really going to be right. We placed 2 trades here live, basically looking to play what? The previous resistance as support back to our next resistance target. Does look like 4,100 filled. We said the more patient, maybe the smarter trade down in the 4,000s. It looks like that's going to fill today. Spicy. Oh yeah, that's some weight. I'm actually going to put an alert a little lower because that's not so important yet. That was basically just to alert me that it had hit previous resistance as support. Let's go back to Bitcoin. Friendly reminder after the live. It will have timestamps so you can go back and catch your favorite parts if you missed or favorite charts. So we're talking about the simple Bitcoin chart, right? When it's put this way, it looks so clean. It looks so clean. Below us, 21.8, we'll call it. Above us, 25.2. We're stuck in the middle. We've tested our descending trend. We've set a higher high. And so as I then contradict myself, we'll make this chart a little more complicated. We do have a local weekly support potentially. It was resistance. It rejected, touched the trend line, moved up to our final high here from August. Touching back to 23.7 this week. Completely possible. In fact, maybe probable. But holding that support is a super strong argument to make a move into, we'll call it 27, 28, maybe as high as 30. We really don't see a lot of resistance above. It makes sense that we're consolidating here, and that's maybe the whole point of this long rant. It makes sense. We've moved up. We've moved up past resistances on the week. We're now at our final weekly resistance, and above us, we see just this incredible cascade of inefficient price action. On the week, it was just down, 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 down. We had one little green candle before we fell lower. This is just down, very little orders being trapped along the way, order books being cleared out, and what that sets us up for is a very clean move back up if we can get bids above 25.2. Honestly, from 25.2, I'll say all the way to 47, 48K is pretty clear. Now, I put out a video yesterday. If you caught it, I apologize for the clickbait. I wanted to try that out. It went all right. If you guys liked that video, though, let me know. I can try to make more. I'm terrible. Like, that wasn't scripted, but I had, like, a script of ideas. And I just sound like a robot, man. I'm just a live guy. I'm just like a... Oh, I don't know. I'm good in the moment. I'm not good at planning ahead. I'm not good at, like, saying certain words. Everything I say is genuine for that reason. But it felt bad. Hopefully you enjoyed it, got a little value. And I will talk about that too, because we had a different price target. That was also kind of meant for a different audience. I know if I told the audience that watched that, or at least I intended to watch that, 48K, they would probably go nuts. And I didn't want that. But yeah, let's see, 47, 48K all the way up here. Using our retracement, we see that's roughly around the 786 of our swing high to swing low. And if we go back to the previous bull market into bear market, we see something that we've talked about for a while. And now I've noticed a lot of other TAs starting to catch up with ours. We're the cutting edge of TA here. You'll hear it here first, and then everyone else will catch on, and then we'll throw the idea away because now too many people know about it, and it doesn't tend to play out then. This is the scary part that I'm not interested in seeing play out. I will say, as a TA that has followed the past, this cycle has really shown me that was not a good idea. This cycle almost had no similarities to any of the previous ones, and so maybe that suggests that this worry isn't really on the table, but I just can't bring myself to say that confidently. If ever there was a scenario where Bitcoin was going to do this, go back to all-time high or break all-time high, I would say it is this cycle, because it just didn't match up with the previous ones. This wouldn't match up with the previous ones either. Looking left for something like this, this would be what happened, but that kept getting us. It kept nailing us in the bull run. We didn't see our highs come up the way that we've seen previously. Our lows now, if 15.5 is the low for Bitcoin, this doesn't fit any of the cycles either. If you take 69K, bring it down to 15.5, that's a 77.5% retrace. That is not in alignment with previous retraces. The previous cycle was 85, 84%, 84.3. Before that, roughly the same. There was once a 92%. 77 just doesn't line up with anything we've seen in the past. And that's okay, but it definitely takes away a little bit of our comfort, a little bit of our... comfort is the word, in where price might go. So as again, that really clean, really simple chart. Here we are. We've back tested the trend. So as a trader, this is how I view this. While we're above it, things are pretty good. In addition, our 200 weekly now virtually overlapped with our weekly high from August at 25.2. This is scary as well. I see the chart as this is the most important level right now. If we break it, 48, 46, it's a range. You can even say as high as 50. This is the only other important one if we're moving to the upside. Both of these have very real potentials to reject price, send us down back to the lows, and potentially even explore lower. 15.5 was not an important level on the chart. Maybe that's perfect for a bear market bottom, right? Because nobody would be looking for that. If people said they predicted 69K to 15.5, I think they're full of it, because that just doesn't make sense. There's just no reason. If you look to the left, 15.5 really wasn't traded. It doesn't have like any significant closes. You don't see any rejections. Like it's just a gibberish level. And maybe that fits perfectly though for a macro bottom, because you're not supposed to know. But yeah, the 200 weekly overlapping with this weekly high, definitely my point of interest. If we break above that, I would love to see this, maybe up to 28, back to that 200 and move. But time has taught me that that's not usually a confident move. Yes, we like to see resistance flip to support. That's pretty basic TA. But when we do enter, especially if this is a dead cat bounce, right? If this is a dead cat bounce, there will not be pullbacks. Like this likely will be the last one. You'll likely see something like this, where you get like a flashy crash, you blow up and you come down. That's why I've been saying for a while, the less people that believe this is a bull market, the more likely we are to not see a dead cat bounce. I believe it's in flux. I don't believe that the future has been decided yet. So we do have a new weekly candle. Let's see if Marketcipher B looks any better. A little bit weirdly. Momentum didn't pinch. I was worried about that on last week's close. And I was worried about VWAP trailing off here. It looks like VWAP's back up. Money flow reaching on down to that August low. A break there. And I think that sends us deep into the 30s, if not higher. And we're getting pretty damn close. Oh yeah, I lost track of what I was saying. As a trader, what I see here is any long position I'm going to look to get out of. Likely down here. Now that is a descending trend, so over time that's getting lower and lower. That's battling against us. But re-entering that descending trend line, very bearish take. In addition, what we would see then is a lower low off of the 200, and that's what's keeping me bullish here. It is hard to be bullish at the 200 because it's so pivotal. We've never broken below it in this way, and now we're coming back up to test it as resistance. This is the first time we've really seen this movement also. We have gone below it, but just for very small periods of time. Usually, or in the past, has gotten bought up instantly. That's not what happened here, so we're in new territory. As a trader as well, I could see, honestly, a short position from the 200. Looking to just stop above your high, and if you're bearish, you're looking to take that short. Probably much lower. I wouldn't necessarily play it this way. I think I would play it like this, possibly, or even to 21.8. As I am just always bullish, just so you guys are aware of my bias. I do short, markets do go down, but in the long term, I have no reason not to be bullish on Bitcoin. I just think that's silly. So shorts from 200, longs potentially, it's going to be hard. I mean, 23.7, maybe. This sucks though if you do even hit that. What sucks about it is you lose your higher low pattern. And then the long is a little sketch. Here we go. Let's look at the day here. Ooh, as we feared. So we talked about this in a few live streams. Basically, money flow on the day really got cranked up in January. That started fading away in February. Money still entering the space, but it's doing so slower. That is not what we want to see for an uptrend. You want to see money entering the space, but you want to see it continuously building, growing, entering faster. That's how you enter the parabolic curve. But we saw in the end of early February, lower high, we broke our low looking left, and we said, man, this might look to roll over. That's not good. In the last few streams, we saw it come back up, and we said, dude, we broke our lows. The odds of getting a lower high here are pretty good. That would not be great. Lower high is not necessarily painted in yet. You still could see something like this, but the lower high likely signaling a retracement of this rally. I'm going to wait on the day for these momentum bands to pinch. I'm going to be watching the VWAP closely because it is approaching zero, but we did just see this on the week. It was approaching zero and then randomly pulled back up, so that is possible. That is possible. RSI in the day looks really bad. I hate to say it, really bad. We have this little flag here above our moving average on the daily RSI, but our problem is we have our really high highs back here in January. Price continued to climb, yet RSI didn't match it, and that's painting out bearish divergence. Now, we could see this. If we do break 25, we do move up into that 30 range, maybe RSI can then put in a higher high with a higher high in price, and we don't have it. But at the moment, this is pretty ugly. This is not what I want to see. The only saving grace, RSI is remaining above 50 on the day, and that's still signaling a bullish trend. Okay. So I'm going to zoom on down, and here is what I did the video on yesterday, the clickbaity video. Please forgive me, I've sinned. This pattern is still very much in play. So it's not perfect. If I really want to make it perfect, I have to drag this out in a weird way that I don't really like, but there you go. What I'm seeing is at that 25.2, we have a flat top. I think I actually had it placed a little lower in the video, but I think this is more correct. And this flat top is great because in crypto, when we get this pattern, with very high confidence, we see it break to the upside. Very high confidence. What I like about it is our lows are being respected. As I said in the video, if 23.8 breaks, we are no longer in this pattern. It's invalidated, and then we'll have to kind of struggle to find a new one or a new edge. But for the moment, this is the edge. Our pattern is not invalidated. We see that 23.7, that newly printed weekly support, just under that level. That does make me a little uncomfortable, as something like this would be a pretty decent liquidity sweep, especially if it was like into next week. Into next week, but I'm liking this. It does seem like the pattern's still holding, even with the little sell-off we saw, the little sold off rally. We do see this whole low holding, and that's keeping the short term, in my opinion, looking to the upside. Down on the 1 hour, oh man, this is getting sketchy. Momentum is remaining positive. It is favoring the upside. So is money flow, but right here we see it in the last hour approaching zero. Do you believe in miracles? Believe in miracles, this might pull back up. VWAP would agree with you. So would momentum. But man, this has really been a trooper. Look to roll over once, maybe twice, 3 times, 4 times, but it just refuses to. The bulls keeping money flow pumping in, despite kind of this weakening pattern. RSI has not really been overbought or oversold, trending in the middle, showing us a little indecision. As long as this pattern's in play, it's favoring the upside. Absolutely. Not a very big move to the downside for invalidation, 3.5%. Let's keep this pattern going. Let's keep it cranking. I missed a 12 hour, but I don't know if there's anything there. Oh man, 12 hour looks heavy. We did get our miracle on the 13th. Look at this dong of VWAP, man. That is like, it's a dong pattern, but inverse head and shoulders. Money flow kind of printing the same thing here. Very heavy. I don't like it. It is positive, but with that lower high, you are very much in danger of rolling over, getting some real retracement. Pretty much everything I'm seeing suggests we need to see a significant break to the upside soon-ish. I'd say this week to pull our oscillators up to fix a lot of the bearish divergence stuff we have on the chart, or all of that comes into play and we see ourselves trend back down, maybe even approach that trend line. Not bueno. Bearish divergence on your lower time frames for RSI. You have a flat top, but your highs are coming down. 4 hours still looks pretty good. It is suggesting some short term, maybe the next 4 to 12 hours of pulling back. I'm going to be obviously keeping an eye on this low as that pullback happens. If we see money flow reach below, we're looking for the 4 hour to roll over, and likely that would be a trip to 21.8, something like that. Let's get down to the really, really low time frames. And as we do, this is the price action likely to impact the live stream. And we have to really zoom in. 1, 2, 3 lower highs here. Not great. Not great. You've broken your low. It is trending back up now, though. You got to retake that high. You got to eclipse basically this whole area to really get back in trend on the 30 all the way up here. And the trend is a little unclear. Your highs and your lows are pretty matching. There's no, in my opinion, definitive move or definitive direction. Maybe slightly favoring up, but maybe that's just my bias. Let's see. A little bullish divergence on your lows there on the 15. 15, gotta zoom in just like the 30 in the hour. A little better, but it's really the same thing. We're seeing our highs come down. Our lows are also coming up, suggesting consolidation. But that's not what I was hoping to see, to be honest. A little more certainty on the 5-minute, very low time frame. So maybe like the next hour of price action. We do see the 5-minute looking to roll over. That's good because we had kind of so much uncertainty, and that uncertainty was based on lower highs. Maybe the 5-minute can pull it back up. Maybe, but money is still exiting the market on very low time frames. Momentum's coming down, VWAP's coming down. Price just lagging. Let's see, what would I expect today? I could definitely see another low test here. Hopefully holding these lows. Coming back up. Dang. Not a lot of energy in the market today. Not a lot of energy. Kind of low money flow on our lower time frames. Not a lot of change. Okay, here, this could be it. I can see this coming back up. Likely, unless we see something unless we miss something, or we see some kind of, maybe the dollar dump, something. Maybe targeting our 0.5. I could see something like that. As high as our 6. As high as our 618. Could see something like that. This is my best guess based on our low time frames of what I'm seeing. There's not a lot of certainty. There's not like a clear... I don't know. I'm not seeing anything clear for the corn here on low time frames. 10-minute a little bit more bullish than everything else. Oddly, you have really low hit to momentum. Your lows are coming up now on the 10. Still a lower high unless we see upside price action. So not the most spicy of Bitcoin days, at least at the moment. I'm going to set an alert at 24,477 and 24,790. So while we take a look at our other charts we're about to jump into, we'll know if Bitcoin is moving. And there we go, following the doodle. Tom Crown's doodles, man. Tom Crown Doodle LLC. Coming to a store near you. So let me pull up the chat. We've got 700 viewers. Not bad. We're live very early. Most of our viewers probably still sleeping. Probably still sleeping. But it's good everyone joined us here that's here. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. If you're here, let me know. I'm pulling up the chat. Going to be reading what you guys are looking at. I want to know what you're looking at today. I want to know what your concerns are for the week. It looks like 45% of us with 500 votes looking at a green week. 35 red, 20% undecided or sideways. Doodle playing out in real time. The doodly. Maybe I should start scalping. I don't know. S&P 500, Google, and Amazon says Laro Pablo. We did have the S&P 500 up. Looks like, boom, that alert is about to go off, hitting our entry here, 4,000. How's that looking? Not so hot. Looks like it makes, honestly, it looks like it wants to continue down. That's not good. Yeah. That's not good. Woo. S&P 500 dumping, at least for S&P 500 standards. Dollar trading sideways. Spices. The UK here. UK never sleeps. What's up, Barry the Rave? What's up, man? Yes, shout out to all of our European watchers. I know this time slot a little bit more doable for you guys. We're just exploring to see what the best time is for everyone. I'm not a morning person. 9:30 a.m. kind of sucks for me. But if that's what people want, they want to start their day with a little TA, maybe I'll have to become a morning person. I'll have to adapt. We'll see. What's up, Justin Todd? Good to see you, brother. YouTube channel. Been meaning to catch you for a while now. Welcome, YouTube channel. Generic, awesome name. Cryptogenic dude. Top doodle. I will say this, guys. I am wrong all the time. I do my best. I think I'm better than... Yeah, no ego. I think I'm better than, I don't know, 90-something% of TAs out there. I'm wrong all the time. But I am the #1 doodler. Like, nobody can out-doodle me. Let's be real. Ain't nobody live on YouTube out-doodling me. Cheers, Jojo. What's up, Death Shadow? TN is here, Justin Irwin. How reliable is Bowl indicator? Do you mean the Bollinger Band indicator? Or is there another one, Bowl? I'm not sure. Bollinger Bands, I think, are a great indicator. I think it's important to understand what they are. It's just a 20 moving average. Boom! Doodle me. Doodle me. Doodle me dirty. Doodle me dirty. There we go. Doodly do. We got our pullback. Did money flow? Ooh, break the low. 5-minute rollover. You gonna keep going? You gonna keep going? I want you to touch. My beautiful doodle. My beautiful doodle. Get back up. Bollinger Band is 20 moving average, and it's just one standard deviation up and one standard deviation down create the bands. I like it as an indicator. Does it work? I don't know. It depends on what you mean by work. Does it give you free money? No, nothing does. But is it pretty good for trading? I think so. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I spent all that time gloating about my doodle, and now I might just get pwned here. If we break 24.4, that's not looking so hot today. I like this zone for the bounce, as on the last higher low fall, we did very similar price action. This is basically where price came back to test previous support as resistance before breaking through. So resistance broke, tested as support, bounce. That's what I'm looking for. Get up. There we go. It's 16:30 in Norway. What's up, Norway? Shout out to you. Frank Norway. Venom Hex. No, 2 hours later. What's up, X Factor? Buy high, sell low. Good name. We want to start our day with some TC Spice. All right. You got it today, baby. What's up, John Shuma? Wake up, crypto summer. Lucky Thoughts. How you doing, man? Kevin is awake. Best time for UK. S&P 500 moving 20 points is not a dump, says Taj. Not a dump. I mean, that's not really what I was saying. I was saying a dump to our entry. To our entry. No. No. Of course. Of course, when I gloat about my doodles, they're going to get wrecked. MO here. What's up, Joseph Volok? Europe represent. Gary 1. How you doing, man? Sudeep. Coffee and TA with Tom. All right. The Pickle, shout out to Pickle, the man behind the beautiful timestamps, doing the Lord's work. What's up, Orangey Glad? Coins Chick, did I see Coins Chick? There she is, slacking off at work to watch. All right, welcome, Coins Chick. There we go, we broke the low. Boo. Boo. Maybe this is a little heavier than I thought. 5 minutes rolling over, it's just not doing it quickly. One hour right at that zero line. We've got 42 minutes left in this hour to settle up. It looks like even at this lower low, dang, 24.4. Even at this low, we haven't hit the red or negative money flow quite yet. Yikes. The doodle has been busted. I've been demoted from top doodler to maybe top 10 doodler now. As we said earlier, honestly, anything above 23.8 is okay. The higher the better. I'd like to see some of this previous support catch bids here. It looks a little knifey on low time frames right now. Dollar not really moving. S&P 500 seemingly chilling at our entry. Ooh, the suspense. The suspense. I don't like that wick. I want to see this settle up higher in the next 45 minutes. 21 million, the dawn of doodling. Well, I'm giving up my crown now. David Brumlow, good to see you, man. Thanks for the question on Frankie yesterday. I was on Frankie Candle's stream at 5 p.m., 5:45 yesterday. It was a good time. Love Frankie. Bury the rave. Stocks are dumping, so Bitcoin poops itself. Well, I mean, neither stocks nor Bitcoin have really pooped themselves yet. Not yet. Stocks look like, hopefully, bouncing at our entry. Dollar's really not doing anything. Weird. I would expect more volatility. But you can even see this consolidating here. Your highs and your lows coming in. Volatility getting squeezed. Priming for a move. Priming to break out. Not quite there yet. Primed. Get back up there. You're just going to wick us out and be a punk? Fair enough. It's coming towards 24.25. 24.4. 24.25 would be a fine number. Be a fine number here. All right. All right. I'm kind of sick of this song, I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to skip it. Even have like a good amount of room below. Right now, 24.120 to the bottom of our trend. That's a good close here on the 5. That was a pretty heavy wick. Got bought up. Closed negative 0.3%. Gotta see these highs come back. Man, this was such a good doodle. Oh well. Rest in peace, doodle. The bone zone incoming, Brian. Ooh, that sounds violent. Why is 1-inch pumping? I don't know. Speaking of 1-inch pumping, giggity, let's take a look at some other coins. I've got some new simple charts for you on the week. Ethereum closed bullish engulf. Looks like 1684. Little red doji candle going on here at the start of this week. Ethereum, not quite the same as Bitcoin's chart here. Still below its high trend. We might be able to do this and say it isn't. And that's probably valid. But I'm going to take the highest point. I'm going to say it's still below its high trend. To catch up with Bitcoin, really it should be trading closer to 2,000. On the week, Ethereum does look not bad anymore. It was looking a little janky. But we do see that money flow picking up, looking to roll over on the week. Not too shabby. Possibly the same lower high here on Ethereum for the day. Not great. Not great. Man, we took a trade at 1561 and got stopped out. Now it's looking like that's maybe where it's going to go back to. Definitely want to see Ethereum stay above 1630. Little daily order block. Not loving that. Battling at 1700 or 1770 resistance. Ethereum Currently in a bearish engulfed day after closing a bullish engulfed week. Looking at our retracements, just under 1600 seems to be around that 0.5. Don't want to see it lower than that. 1462 are low on the 14th. Obviously the line in the sand, if you break that, things are looking a little ugly. Upside resistance 2021 or 2100 for Ethereum. I'm not sure which way this wants to break. Got my alerts set. If you break that high trend, you move into 2100 pretty quick. After that, you really don't have a lot above you. I could see on a break of 2100 a move to 35, 3600 pretty quickly for Ethereum. That lines up basically with the move of, well, Bitcoin retakes the 200, breaks its weekly resistance, that move up to like 40 something K. This would be the mirror move, basically. Big old inefficient price action. Your last point of efficient price action was like 2100. That's the next upside target logically. ADA. Let's look at Cardano here. Descending trend line. Above it last week. Now looking to maybe backtest it on the week here. Local weekly support painted at 36.4 cents. Our short on ADA at 41.6. Looking good. Now, I don't know if it'll make it all the way to 31.1. For those people who are more skittish, maybe 36.4, easier close. Money flow, not quite as strong as some of the others we've seen. We don't see that higher low kind of breaking there. Luckily, the daily looks much stronger than some other charts. Bitcoin and Ethereum. That money flow in a clear uptrend with higher highs and higher lows. It is currently suggesting a little downside. That's playing well for our short. But we're really going to want to see that momentum pick up. VWAP put in a lower high, and I think that short gets stopped out. Good news for ADA lovers. Good news for ADA lovers is breaking 41.6. Very similar move. As we just looked at for Ethereum and Bitcoin, you're looking all the way up here. 72-ish. This is the big bad boss resistance for ADA, 41.6. If it can retake it, I think you see very, very strong buying price action happen. Man, you're just flirting with that, aren't you? Ooh, your 200 daily. I like that. We have your 20 and 200 right here below price, both potentially going to act as support. But where that 200 is great on the day, right at that descending trend line. If price does hit 38.3, it's likely to have a little extra power behind it as the descending trend and that 200 day are overlapping. And what I just noticed and I like here, taking everything else off the chart, this looks great. You've retaken the 200. You haven't broken it. Breaking it definitely makes this look worse, but your 50 is coming up. So basically, price can range. Price could technically touch 31.1 if it got bought up very quickly. But as long as you're above that 50, you're right near your cross. The closer price action is to bear and bull crosses, in my observation, the more confident they have been to play out that way. Typically, when we've seen crosses very high above us and we rally to them, unfortunately, kind of like the 200 week on Bitcoin, they reject. When price is very close to those crosses, it more often, I'll say, plays out the way it's supposed to. But I like that. It looks like this cross is fixing to happen right around that maybe 0.5 retrace here from this low to high. Maybe the 618 at 37.5. As long as price is above that 50 daily, though, a long, maybe not too crazy, even though we're technically short on this. Something like that. I like it. But I'm liking that golden cross. Wonder what it looks like on the week, actually. That's kind of cool. I didn't know this because literally no one ever pointed this out as far as I know. ADA completed its death cross on the week, the first one ever, in December of 22, and it marked the exact bottom for ADA, at least so far. Interesting. On the week, you can actually see a very bullish pattern forming, and then we're going to move on from ADA. Very bullish pattern forming on the weekly. invalidated below your swing low at 34.6. But you have a very clear neckline. You have a very, very clear neckline. And the confidence is only boosted because that neckline is right at the big boss battle resistance. Boom. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Let's invert it. Oop. If you saw this, you'd probably be pretty bearish, right? I would be. That's clean. Neckline at 41.6. So for this to play out as a textbook inverse head and shoulders, what would we expect? A break of 41.6. Maybe testing that 50 weekly, maybe testing that 200 weekly. That lines up pretty well, actually looking left. And then a back test of 41.6. That would be very, very healthy price action. That'd be a very strong base that ADA could form there. And then you might get that move to 72. I could definitely see that playing out. That's spicy. I'm going to save that chart. Done. Look at BNB only because we haven't for a while. We actually had a short on BNB open. Let me see if I can find that quick. That's the same chart I have pulled up. Here we go. It's a clean, we're here for the New York Open. We started with some clean charts. We had a nice little long. It looks like 1-2 longs on BNB from 233. They both closed in profit. We flipped short at 324. Now this was really a hedge position for BNB. I don't really think it's going to play out, but we do see some lows broken there. Not quite a change of character or break of structure, but we will likely get that if 281 is broken before 337 is broken. Oop. The reasoning for this really was just, hey, you have a descending high trend. You hit a lower low in your consolidation here. This actually looks a lot like MATIC, weirdly, with your low in June and then sideways trading. And just looking to stop right at that previous high. Good TPs for this are gonna be hard, honestly, because I mean, if you break 23.3, you're looking for a bottom of your range test, and then potentially, we talked about this. Now, I don't think this is gonna happen, but we have very inefficient price action on the BNB chart. So if we lose our low, going back to that pre-2021 high at $31 is not off the table. That's why I think BNB is such a knife right now. I took profits on BNB last year, or end in 21 a little bit, but I still have some of my position open. I just don't love it. I don't love the chart. It's really looking like a flat bottom triangle. Really looking like a flat bottom triangle, and I do not like flat bottom triangles for longs. Who knows? Who knows? On the week, you closed lower. But you do have a higher low. What do we got going on here? Money flow still ugly. Pretty beast on the day, though. Okay, I actually didn't expect this. We have higher highs and higher lows. Momentum's coming up. BNB may look to test this trend line. I think it may look to test this trend line before it looks to potentially break that low. The trend line sitting right back at our short entry. Likely, if it happens, proving that short entry was pretty solid. So let's move on. Nobody cares about BNB, man. I honestly don't. I was going to look at gold, but there's not a lot of updating on gold. This is the monthly chart. Gold really kind of just moving against the dollar. Dollar showing a little strength. Gold showing some weakness. 1823 with 7 days to go. Gold really wants to settle up above 1823. Avoid that bearish engulf on the month. And I think that it has a pretty bullish rest of the year if it does. Honestly. Wanted to just gloat about Tesla for a minute. Literally on this channel, we scoped the $100 mark so long ago. There was so many reasons too. Using your swing low to swing high. Where are we? Using your swing low to swing high. Boom. Our measured move 2 right down at 100. We identified a potential harmonic. I'm not a harmonic guy, but it looks like that harmonic even played out. Tesla now rallied from 100 to 205. And this is where if I was in a long from 100, I would jump out. You're up 104%. No one ever went broke taking profits. Certainly, you don't always have to totally close a position if you're still bullish. I think it has more upside. At 100% gain, you can close 50%, take your principal back out, ride the trade risk-free. I love doing that in crypto, so why not in stocks? But what kind of gets me here is now we're at 206. This has been a pretty important level to Tesla. This was where we found support in May for a little dead cat bounce before we found support again there in November, fell below. Now we're testing that support as resistance. Not only is that a resistance that we see looking left, but if we use our fib again and we take our high to our low, boom, boom. On the regular chart, we're right at our 5.0. So this is specific to harmonics as far as my knowledge goes. If you guys are harmonic masters out there, let me know if I'm wrong. So whatever the hell pattern this is, right? Deep crab or something. When you have a harmonic pattern play out, there's something called a 5.0. And what that basically means is whatever direction the harmonic pattern went in, so in this case down, at the 0.5 retracement, rejections there are called a 5.0 rejection, and that is typically a very strong reversal. So if Tesla does reject here at 205, likely moving back down to its lows. Likely. It would be more ideal for the bulls to push up to 232, your 618, and then maybe you see a higher low and you eventually break to the upside, go back to the highs, etc. But Tesla here, if I was in a long, personally, I would close it, or at least TP some of it. You may look, or I may look, to take a short here. This might be a bad idea. Might be a bad idea. Let's see. Stop's going to be hard because, man, you got that 618 right there. But you can still get a 3-to-1 if you're expecting it to retest its lows here. This might not be insane. Might not be. Anyway, Tesla. We called it, baby. That's wild. I need to do more stocks because honestly, my TA on stocks works way better. Dollar finding a little selling in the last 5. S&P 500 seemingly stuck at our entry, and Bitcoin, is it 25 minutes? We said, man, I really want to see this settle up higher into this hour, and it looks like we're getting it. Looks like we're getting it. One, two, three, four, 5 candles maybe on the hour closing. 24.5. That's where I want to see the hourly settle up above. There we go. There we go. You know what, actually, let's just put it on the trend, right? That's impossible to read. Perfect. There we go. Right at that line. We've got 25 minutes to do it. It's possible. I might actually got a little heavier. I am surprised. This is not going the way I thought. Oof. Oofed. Really low time frame. Let's throw these on. Our low push down, so our fib tool has to come down with it. Let's on the 5 minute. This is actually 30 minute, but very, very zoomed in. So don't take this TA too to heart. Definitely with a grain of salt. Low time frames are prone to being moved against the chart. Oh, there we go. Back to that 0.5. See this. That's what I'd like to see now. Our doodle was wrecked. Doodly wrecked. It's because I gloated about it. I never gloat. I said I was the best doodler on YouTube, and The whales watching were like, let's make him look dumb. So I'm looking for back to the 618. Hopefully finding support at that hourly and closing somewhere in here for the hour. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so ANKR. At least we can gloat about this. ANKR, we were watching in early February, actually even late January, as it retook 2.7 cents. This was significant support pretty much all through 2021. This would be akin to ADA at 41 cents, 41 whatever 6. Basically, you hit your low, you consolidated there, and you just stayed until you fell and you hit a new low. ANKR, cool, and this is different from ADA, actually found support at a level that makes sense. Maybe we should be weary of that, right? Maybe. This was the consolidation level before inefficient price action on the way up. It then came back to fill that inefficient price action in, as markets tend to do. Didn't quite touch the 0.5 or anything. That's okay. But we said, hey, you could look to take a long from that support. You've closed above it. You've consolidated with a tight stop. And where would you target the next upside resistance? Boom, money in the bank. That's a 78% gain. Another W for the live stream. Another W. 78%. Freaking wild. It never came back to our 618. Never got that entry, but it's better to miss the boat than board the Titanic. With this really big rally here, we're likely to see our oscillators jam to the top, and of course they are. RSI on the day up very high, very close to a higher high versus August. Actually, this is really healthy. So we don't see this often in crypto for some reason, but we see our August high matching that with today's high. This is slightly lower and has slightly lower RSI. So we don't have bearish divergence there. And that is odd because virtually every other chart we've looked at does. Spicy. I don't think I took this trade. Right there at weekly. Here we are. Ta-da. So with 5 days and 9 hours to go, we'd want to see this settle up above the weekly resistance, really at any value. Selling off down below, and we're likely to see some kind of retracement. We don't know how deep. It is, of course, possible to return to 2.7 cents. But using our fib tool, yeah, maybe the 0.5 down here, 3 cents, as shallow as 4.1. But a close above, your next upside target looking at 6.21 cents. This is the big boss now for ANKR. Look at this level. Truly going to be a battle. Tested as support on a monthly time frame over and over and over and over again. Broke with the rest of the market. Actually, yeah. So that would be really great to hit. I don't think it will pass through if we see continuing today. Like if we see it continue to rally. I would not market order long into this. No. No. If anything, I'd looked for a short. It's too much. Right at your 0.5. If anything, I'd look to short. I'm not going to do it. I don't like to trade things when they do this, because what happens is, yeah, you're like above resistance, so what? You look to go long. Well, this just does that and goes up. Or you look short, and this just clips that high, stops everybody out, and then dumps. That's wild, though. 50% candle in an hour. And the wilder part is it actually closed up. Like, it didn't get sold off. I did notice one thing. This is the last thing we're going to move on from ANKR. Notice one thing here. When we invert the chart, we do maybe see reason to return to 2.7 cents. Establishing a neckline basically at our resistance here, 6.2. This may be, or this could possibly give us another entry back at the same place. If this does happen, we'd look for it to come back to 6.2. Maybe then it can run. Maybe then it runs to the next, 9 cents. Comes back. And boom. That looks good. I don't know if this will happen. Of course, these are markets. If Bitcoin rips up right now, this could just rip up into the moon. But I think this is the most logical. This is the most logical path. Damn, that was a good call. Damn. You pull up CoinGecko again. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything that's moving newly. Wemix, never heard of it. Zill, we'll pull up Zill. 1 inch. We'll pull up 1 inch. Ooh. We have stacks pulled up. 500% gain in a week. Who the hell is long in this? Who in the hell would long that? Holy moly. I don't even know what that is. Let's look at STX. I have LRC. What else did I just say? I think I just closed it. Womp. Zill. That's what I said. Zill. Man, honestly, I don't know much about Zill as a coin, but I do know Zill has just skunked me over and over and over again. It has these awesome macro patterns and then it craps them. So I don't trust Zill. But we'll take a look at it. STX, though, on the radar here. STX, I think, is a layer 2 for Bitcoin. I made a video about it a long time ago. It's just like an informational video, not a shill video. But I've never really heard it get a lot of hype. So last week it closed 116%. 116%. Wild. People looking at Illuvium, ILV. They actually charted that not long ago. I am going to do STX quick, but let's see if ILV is doing anything. Nope. Following RTA. Litecoin analysis, not yet, Dean. GMT, what are you guys looking at? HBAR. I can tell you right now, HBAR is at like 10 cents. Hasn't broken support. I'm still looking for 20 cents. 420 Wake and Bake, absolutely deadwood. Let's go. INJ, says Leon. China longs it. Maybe that's it. Zill, please. All right, we'll do Zill next. I have Zill. We're going to do STX. Then we're going to do Zill. Then we're going to do ILV. Really quick, guys. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. Do it now. If you do it now, I'll shout you out. I see Can Zorba subscribed. Lanny W subscribed. Ben Fred Imabens subscribed. Manuel Maestrini subscribed. Joe Seeley. Luke John. Barry the Rave. My man, I love Raven. I can't wait to rave this summer. Mr. Amy 23. Jeff P. Grimethie. Jurgen Wagner. And that's it. That's not that many. There has to be more of us. There has to be. Help us get to 100K by smashing the subscribe button. We only have 700 viewers. Not bad, but not great. I kind of expected more at this time slot. It's okay. We only need 2 more likes to get to 420. I want to blaze it this week. Don't be selfish. Let's get to 420 likes. All right. STX. And then I'll read the chat again. STX now back at its monthly support. Back in 21, monthly support off of the 65K high. Rallied to a higher high. Fell all the way down to 20 cents, where it seemingly found a bottom. And now is at 61. This was a very spicy rally. However, you had support, now you tested at resistance. Like, I'm looking for a retracement, unfortunately. Where might that be? 50 cents, looking pretty good. That might be a little too eager, though. 35.2, a much more confident level for me down here. I actually like that. Let's see what our fib tool has. There we go. What's up, Salamat Mujib? Recommended ED Roman Jonathan McKean. Nice. I asked for subscribers. You guys delivered. Right on. I'm going to keep delivering for you as well. So STX, I wouldn't touch this, not with this top wick and bottom wick, but what I would do if I wanted to be in a position here is I would look for a retracement, and I'm liking the retracement that this is showing us. This is showing us a very strong potential level. There's no guarantee it will hit, but again, better to miss the boat than board the Titanic. You don't want to go down with the ship. So what I see here is a weekly support. This was all that consolidation, June, July, August, September. It broke. So we had support, test, break, test as resistance, reject, lower high, reject, boom, tested as resistance again, rejected to a higher low. This potentially painting its bear market bottom. There we go. Danny Eliason, Maximilian Zibarini, Batter El Batter, FTM following your doodle. Thanks for the 5, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, we'll pull it up. I believe it. I lost my title of best doodler in the West today because I gloated, but we'll pull it up. What I like. Almost done. This is it. This is like important because this is, I think, kind of tradable. This looks tradable. Yeah. Broke that resistance and boom, we got that 100% weekly candle. So after that, this is crypto. It could keep going up. I have to always say that. But more likely or more probability on the downside, at least to maybe a strong support. I wouldn't short this here personally. Maybe if you saw a retest in this week of 80 cents, maybe. Then maybe I might. But right here at 61 going short, I think you're going to get stopped. Going long, I think you're going to get stopped. So potentially, if it comes back up here, you could look to do that short. But what I'm looking for here is it broke that resistance. Finally, 100% candle. Boom, right up to its major monthly level. Your 618, your golden retrace, right there at 35 cents. So you have very confident support. It broke very confident resistance. Now at your 618, you have a beautiful support. This would be structurally great. It would be great. Again, maybe in this week if it retests its high, which it looks like it kind of did, so maybe we missed it. Yeah, looks like it kind of did already. Maybe you can sneak a short, but I ain't sneaking no short there. Heckin' no. All right, STX looks great. Make sure I have my alert set, and we're gonna move it on. Move along, sir. Precision Metalworks, welcome to the fray. Welcome to the fray. We're live here every other day. Testing out our new time slot at 9:30 a.m. It's working. But you know what? Honestly, it seems like that 10 o'clock slot was a little better. That was a spicier day. We have 655. We usually have 1,000. That's okay. That's okay. We have 655 of the smartest, best TAs in all the land. FTM. Looks like it did follow this doodle. This was drawn before it hit this, before it hit resistance. We're looking for an inverse head and shoulder to paint out. We were a little preemptive, identifying it early. Looks like it's doing a bigger potential pattern. Money flow, I'm seeing short-term downside, but much stronger, I think, than some others on the week. Let's go on down. Did get a minor pullback there. Really, FTM, the whole play was we have what looks like a big old head and inverse head and shoulders on the weekly. On the weekly chart, you have your left shoulder, you have your head, you have your right shoulder. The left and right shoulder, both at 19 cents, cementing that pattern. We got a break, didn't get a back test, but we did see it. This is interesting. FTM is like ahead of a lot of the market. So if we look left, we can see our August high was broken back in January versus Bitcoin, which is just at it now. FTM has a pretty clear chart, actually. Maybe I got to get bullish on FTM, right? Our measured move just at $1. You know, I'm just going to call that $1. We have seen so many hits to these psychological numbers. It's your measured move from your swing high in August to your swing low in November. You broke resistance at 38. Didn't fully touch 38, unfortunately. You do have a higher low, potentially another higher low on the day. Money flow is very good. Again, I think potentially signaling a little short-term downside in FTM. Something like that, maybe even below the zero line. Likely to lead continuation. 74 cents, looking pretty sweet. Looking pretty sweet. Almost avoided bearish divergence. Basically, if you break your low, 38.7 cents. Strong support. If we see the market retrace, if we see Bitcoin kind of take a dump, hit a lower low, 27.2, the untested neckline on this inverse head and shoulders pattern that we missed, likely a good entry. However, I think at the moment, you're kind of waiting for this to play out. Your upside is a little more muted than your downside, but if you're already in a position, great. You got a 36% gain to your next resistance. You've got a 28% loss to your support, or a 50% loss to your stronger support down there. It's right where your 618 is. Don't look bad. All right, Zill, the chart that just so many times has wrecked me. It's just so many times. You can see, had so many theories on it. It's just every time wrecked me. This touch here to 3.8 cents was brilliant. And I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Didn't play out. Let's clean it up because this is a very old chart. Let's clean it up. Yeah, at least we were right here. At least it did one thing we thought it would do. Broke 2.5 cents, moved to resistance. Now that resistance sitting at like 3.7. Actually, I think that this is I think this would be better identified here. 4.3. This is a really old chart. Monthly waning selling momentum. Marketcipher B on the month actually looks very good there. We did not see the rejection. I remember actually looking at this now. What we were looking for is you had support, you hit resistance, you broke support. We were looking, because everything was bearish at the time. This was early December. Looking for a rejection of that support as resistance. It did not happen. That being said, we potentially looked to long from 2 cents, just under 2 cents. That did not happen. That long did not happen. Let's get rid of it. Short from resistance also didn't work. Skunked us one more time. Reaching up. You know, a lot of the time I place these shorts and I say I wouldn't take them. But this is the logical move. Again, same thing here. Hard to get a good risk to reward unless you really squeeze that down or you're more patient. Actually, I like that better. Like that better. You can look for a shorter resistance 4.3 or right here at 3.7. I do not like that. This is not great looking. Higher highs. Not even strong higher highs, like weak higher highs. And then RSI, I mean, maybe right here it broke out of this downtrend, but this needs to push past this. It definitely needs to go past 4.3. I think I own some Zill somewhere. I don't even know. It's probably worth like nothing now. Somewhere. But if you break 4.3, here we go. We'll just wrap it with this. Break 4.3, you might be looking for your 618 retrace here. Boom. That's also significant level to Zill's price. That'd be the probably like breakout. Bitcoin's running to 30, 40K. That'd probably be the target. 2.4 cents potentially. a place you could look for a long. I don't think a long right here is a smart idea, but you guys trade your own stuff. Please don't just follow my trades. These are just ideas to help you come up with your own. All right. ILV, that actually looks a lot like FTM, doesn't it, on the day? You have a high, a low, a lower high, and a higher low. High, low, lower high, maybe a higher low. Long. Our long did not fill here, but if it did, it would have been a slick play. Last time we looked at this, essentially we were saying you have pretty smooth sailing above 120 all the way to like 500. Now, it doesn't mean it has to go there. We do have a higher high on money flow in the day. I'd be looking for, honestly, maybe this. The stop for a long is going to be difficult, but you have a good upside. 66.5. You did test it before moving higher. If you get a lower low here, not a bad place to look. Need some different tunes. I made this playlist a long time ago. It took me a long time. It's all non-copyrighted music. But now I think it's like, I think I've had it for 4 years. There's a few hundred songs, but I think I'm finally getting like sick of them. You had support here at 75. You broke. You had resistance there. You fell. You broke 75. You came back down, tested as support. Like, this may be an SR flip. Honestly, I think it does test 117. If it rejects there, then you're probably in trouble. But above it, you're looking great. Solid entry on this, probably at like 56 or 65 if it comes. Your daily looks good. It's in trouble though. I mean, you move to a lower RSI low, you break 50. It's not quite as good, but as long as you're above 50, this is looking very tasty. For a spot position, if I was like a huge believer in this coin, I think it could be played this way for a spot. It's a big drawdown. You couldn't do that on leverage. But if you're just like all about this coin, if you love it, I think there's a very long-term play up to that, to filling that gap. Let's look at LRC. LRC filling our trade, 42 cents. This has been quite a run. Quite a run. Hit 50 cent resistance, or maybe just barely didn't. 69 or 70 cents would be my would be the target to the upside I'm looking for if 50 breaks. Daily kind of looking like it wants to. Week looks pretty good. You're going to have some issues with divergence, but this chart's a lot more compact. You have like your May low combined with your August high combined with last week's candle, all at 50 cents. This is looking like the pretty pivotal point in this chart. Got another subscriber. What's up, CS Vida? How you doing? Good to have you. Make sure you've smashed the likes and subscribes. We're here live, giving you the cutting edge in TA. Low time frames on this do not look great. Very low. I think our trade's good though. I think this trade's the right idea. The stop might not be the best. This one never filled. Stop might not be the best. I think it's like more confidently like below this low, but then your risk to reward sucks. That stop's not the best, but I think the entry and the TP are on point. I see some strength there. I see some strength. TWT was a big gainer, although every time I look at it, it's at the same price. Just allowing people to get back in. $1.36 was resistance for the entirety of its existence. It painted an ascending low flat top. It broke out, backtested that flat top. Now it's got a lower high and a higher low. Not gonna lie, this is a little sketchy. It has to pick up. But really our trade thesis is still perfect. It's like, you're long at the support. If your low breaks, you're out. That lines up with what we're seeing on the week really well. I don't think that there's going to be an update on this trade, like ever. I think that the next update will be it broke its high, but that could be like who knows when. Daily's just rolling over and looking pretty strong. $120. TP IR 1618. This was a theoretical way I might approach this trade with like $250 or something. Looks good above 136. Not a lot of change there. JGI Hill, what's up, man? Subscribed. Good to have you. Let me refresh the chat. Yeah, this is not the hypest time. Weird. 11 a.m. means we've been live for an hour and a half. All right. More pain to come for Bear, says Flat Smack. Don't disagree. Do not disagree. Checking back in on S&P, no movement. Dollar, a little bit of weakness. Saw that consolidation look to break to the downside on like the 5-minute. Hasn't really moved though. Hasn't broken its low. What about BTC? Best doodler in the West. I'm taking it back. I'm taking it back. Just because sometimes we get skunked. Just because sometimes I get skunked. Don't mean I'm not the best doodler in the West. That hourly closed. Where did it close? Exactly where we said we wanted it to. We haven't checked back in on this, and since it hit at 618, it hasn't bounced. It looks like it might even sell off, but closed within or closed above 24,563. That's what I wanted to see on that hour. So we got skunked on one doodle. Our other doodle made it up. Let's see if this bounce and move to the upside is still in the cards. I think it is. The 5-minute finally getting rid of that, finally rolling over. The 30-minute now in red, but very, very subtle, very low, shallow red. With momentum lows coming up. 45 minutes, okay. Hourly finally reaching into negative money flow, which sucks. Momentum hasn't pinched. VWAP's down. The hourly still looking heavy. The hourly may be suggesting a trip to the bottom of this wedge now. Look at this. Look at the 2-hour. That's some ugly, ugly. It's almost like they were targeting that Twitter post. 2-hour with really any reach lower gonna paint some bullish divergence. But unfortunately, the 2-hour money flow is looking to roll over as well. That is threatening. That is threatening. 4 hours pulled back a little bit. Just opened a new 4-hour candle. That is not the best candle to close, is it? Our lows are still intact. Our top is still intact. Tell me your secrets, wizard. 6-hour money flow, higher high. 6-hour in danger of losing its trend. Does have a weakness in the cloud coming up here in 12 hours. So if you're expecting a dump, if you're expecting this not to play out as a flat top, I would say in the next 12 hours, I would look for that dump. Possibly as late as like the 23rd. $12-hour right here. So what I'm seeing on Ichi is pretty suggestive of what we're looking for. The TK is moving up with price as it does. It's establishing a trend, and basically the TK is saying right here, 24.5. You want to hold it or you'll lose your trend on a bunch of time frames, and maybe you return to 23.3. That would suck because it breaks our higher low pattern. It invalidates our flat top. Not so great. Not so great. Seeing a bunch of these twists, but right there on the 12. Check back in on the day. TK and KJ overlapping at 23.3. which is weird and conflicting because if you hit it, you break your structure. But if you hit it, it's also suggestive that there's support there. It also suggests you're still in trend if you hit it, which I would disagree with, but maybe there's something I'm not seeing. 2-day right there, 23.3, man. It's just like on every time frame. 23.3, 23.3. 3-day pinched, 4-day pinched, still in the cloud. Looking for that 5-day. That is an intimidating cloud. Reminiscent of the previous bear market cloud. What's interesting though is this did pinch back here. So we actually see a little disconnect from the previous, let's say 2019 Deadcat bounce. We approached the cloud twisted. We don't have the cloud twisting yet, and we're already in the cloud. So there is a little dissimilarity there. That's all right. I don't think I've looked at the 5-day, but holy heck, I like what I see. Check that out. Look at this. Momentum has moved back up. VWAP is up. Looking left, you broke your low. You broke it again. Now you're approaching that 0 line. Wonder, what is this story? 4 hour. Oh, the 4-day just rolled over. Wow. Okay. 3-day just hit a higher high. Why did I not know this? The 2-day a little heavy, and I'm assuming the 1-day still looks a little crappy. Yeah. Yeah. Looking at just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day, we could see the 1 and 2 pull it down. I would look for 23.3. Weirdly, I might have a new thesis. I might have a new trade thesis. Embarrassing it took me this long to get there. So, we may see this pattern invalidate. Honestly, I meant to say at the beginning of the stream, we catch stuff on the chart before everybody. We called the death cross on the week before anybody. I'm positive. No one else had called it out. Definitely on Total Crypto Market Cap. It was the first tweet ever. And then everybody else finds it, and that's fine. No one knows charts. But the more people that find it, the less I see it play out. Everyone is kind of on this ascending triangle now. So, what might happen, and what I'm seeing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-day, we see weakness on the 1, on the 2, but then the 3, 4, and 5 start to look very strong. What might be suggested there is that we are going to hit 23.3, run the stops. That would run the stops. Boom, liquidity. Maybe we get like a kicker candle. And then we move higher. That would be hella spicy. That might be my new opinion. Oh man, getting heavy. Getting heavy. We did not bounce from that hourly close. RSI is already lower than the previous wick though. Looking for some kind of bullish divergence, hopefully. Looking for a bid. I think the 5-minute does suggest that we are going to look for that bid. Roll over. Schwant. 500 likes. Well done. Well done. WBDGCQ subscribed. What's up, man? EG Fink Glued. Peyton Pumpville. Great name. Love it. Love the new viewers. Love the new eyes here for the NY Open. I don't know how I feel about it, guys. Maybe we should do a poll. Our poll only got 1,000 votes. Man, I really thought, I guess today isn't spicy though. You know, like there's not a lot going on. And that will do like 10:30, 11:30. Let's see. Yep. Heavy, man. Lower low on the one. One is seeking that low now. Boo. Boo. I should probably eat breakfast before I stream this early. My stomach's growling. R size low. Low. Hold that low. Move back up. Possibly. Deep retracement. Not great. We might look to break that low. This is not very bullish price action. S&P 500 continuing to go down. Not a huge loss now at 4,017. Maybe coming to hunt us out. Dollar doing nothing. Basically where it opened. Womp. Kumali Husan, love your analysis, love your style. Thank you, friend. Appreciate you. JQR looking for 19.2. That's quite a downside draw, my friend. That's quite a downside draw. Or even is 19.2. Looking for here. It could happen. Could happen. I don't know. I don't see it incoming, but maybe. Double top. Sure. You could call it a double top. You could. I mean, they're not exactly, but yeah, you could call it a double top. 25.2. It would actually be a triple top. Triply top. On the week. On the month. I don't know. 23.3, man. We'll know. You know what? Yesterday's clickbait video had value. It had value. 23.8 breaks. Everything's in play. 23.8 holds. We're still in this pattern. Still looking for upside. Good trades aren't about knowing the future. They're about having good invalidations. Solid, confident invalidations. That's what we got. MATIC. I didn't look at MATIC. I don't think we're going to do too many more charts here. I've been live 2 hours. I don't know. MATIC looks like it's just coming back to our entry. I think it still looks strong in the day. Watch for $1.27, maybe $1.31, depending on how aggressive, how impatient you are. MATIC looks okay. There we go. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that. We did break the low on the 5, but it's right there at that broadening pattern. Right there at that broadening wedge. Breaking that'll be ugly. Boo! Money flow coming back down. No! Find support there, son. With the lower low, we've invalidated that bullish divergence on our 5-minute chart. 15-minute, no divergence. Same with the 5. 30. No divergence. We're seeing lower lows, lower RSI. The 30-minute now approaching 0, which the hour just did and rolled over. Yeah, chart's getting heavier. This rejection here, man. This rejection from the hourly line, it did close there, but that rejection, chart got very heavy. Falls out of this wedge. Here we have this wick low. If it wicks slightly lower, it'd be a decent stop hunt. Good liquidity. Speaking of good liquidity, I'm going to pull up LuxAlgo. I'll pull up their live order block data. Takes a second to load. There we go. Yep, right there. Liquidity here. I could see it run the stops 24.3. Right there. And then probably meander its way back up. Maybe to the top of the wedge here. We see another order block of data. Sitting at 24.7. Rejecting from there gets very ugly. Something tells me, though, that it's not. Something tells me this isn't going to do that. I think what is happening is a liquidity hunt here from your low. I think it runs the stop. You have liquidity resting higher. I think it likely will move to that spot. We have that broadening wedge. You can check out LuxAlgo in the video description below. Use my link. Help support the stream. Boom, liquidity hit. Are we coming back up now? We never came back to this. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. All right. 58% with only 103 votes. Doesn't really count. Saying 930 is perfect. I don't know. We're still deciding. We're always evolving on this channel. We're always staying dynamic. I'm going to start doing some more scalping, I think. Oh, there it is. Boom. Liquidity hit. Is it going to be a stop hunt? There it is. Exactly as predicted. No, not really. There's a liquidity hunt. If it moves back up, I think this doodle is on track. If it doesn't, holy shizzle. It's like maybe we're looking down at that trend line. We saw this order block broken. We saw orders move down here, but this is not a lot. It's not a big order block. Price moved back up, and so too did that order block. Spicy. More liquidity below than above. Oof. That's not what I wanted to see. That's not right. That's not good. That's not what I wanted. Honestly, if it doesn't catch here, it's looking doompy. It's looking doompy down to 24. Anything fixed itself? No. No. Nope. It's pretty amazing how heavy these got. So we're looking at these low time frames, minutes, hours, and they don't look so hot now. Really, this was like a pivot. As soon as this level was lost, all these low time frames started pivoting. Which sucks. But on higher time frames, it's not quite as scary. Like 6 hour, 8 hour. What is that, like 600? That's 10 hour. 10 hour. Daily doesn't look that great. It could be fixed if the high gets pulled up. But then you go out to the higher day time frames and things look really good. So maybe this is just a higher low. Maybe that day and 2 day play out and we do see that fall to 23.3. That would suck. But that would be a nice little move if it found support there and rallied, then played into that 3, 4, 5 day timeline. Things would look really good. This has got to move up or it's... Oh, if it rejects here, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad. Not seeing buyers, really. I get a little dumpy bump. A little dumpty dump. I don't like this fall and no buying response despite, like, you clipped liquidity. You clipped this volume, this order block. And you're not seeing a bounce. You're below that trend. This is getting not great. This is getting not good. 2 measured move right there, 24-1. Maybe. Looks like before the daily close. This will be like 4 something-ish east. If we reject here, probably be looking here. That still keeps us in trend. That's still okay. That's not ideal. I want to even see like this 5 minutes settle up higher. I don't want these low time frames lagging. Sagging. It's weird. I would expect, honestly, having traded so much, I would expect it to bounce from here. Only because you've hit this liquidity. Now, I don't mean bounce up. I mean bounce any kind of retracement. Maybe back to like your closes up here. Like something. Just because so many longs got stopped out. Shorts opened because you broke a low. It makes sense to push against the market, rally those back in, and then go for that dump. This will be very bearish if it doesn't. There we go. Get up there. Get up there a little bit. Maybe not. Down on the 1 minute, little rejection. No. No. This might be going lower. Is this turning into a dump stream? Find out soon. Find out soon. Good entry point, yes. Like something like this. Just back to the 5. You're right. As high as a 618. Better R to R there. Failed doodles. Like, it would just be weird to not see a rally now. Like, that's such a stop hit. Almost always to the upside or downside when you get like a stop hit. You just see it move the other way, not really retrace all the way, and then it continues. Whether it's to the upside or the downside. Very common price action pattern. There we go. Get a little strength there, baby. Give us a W today. We need a W. Need a W. Thank you, LuxAlgo. That live order block data is really awesome. Actually, I have to use that more. You know what it is? A new 4-hour started, I think. Yeah. Oh, wow. We actually dumped into that 4-hour. That's spicy. Usually when a 4-hour rolls, like a new 4-hour starts, you just see very little price action. Market has to like decide what it wants to do. I think this stop might be better there. If this moves up anymore, which it did, I think you go ahead, you move that stop up. Clip. Thumbs up always made. Thank you, Raymonds. What's up, Exchange 22? It's gonna go up. Wait, that's what this is betting on. Brandon Herring subscribed. If you're out there and you haven't subscribed yet, do it. Help us get to 100K before Bitcoin. What you should also do is join the Discord, because after every live stream, I airdrop some sats on everybody. You get some sats just for being in there. I'll make you a Bitcoin holder. Also, it's the best way to keep up with the live stream. YouTube doesn't always let you know we're live. Good, nice 100 subscribers today. Nice. If you haven't checked out MEXC, highly recommend it. So many alts. Like, MEXC doesn't sponsor us. Bybit is our sponsor. So sign up with Bybit. But everybody has a Bybit account. But not everybody has a MEXC account. I have been fascinated. MEXC, from everything I've seen, is legitimate. They've been around. They've passed my time test. But they have so many alts. Like, every coin that I don't have an exchange to find something, I find it on MEXC. And they even have leverage on it, which I don't know if that's a great idea. But you guys love your leverage. You guys love it. What a slow freaking dump if this is a dump. Not trying to whip markets up yet. Dollar not really moving, but seeing this hourly sold off a little bit. Weird that Bitcoin had a red close on the hour, so did the dollar. No! S&P 500, no! No. No bueno. Yeah. Look at how many coins they have. They have spot as well. Like, look at all these coins. There's 31 pages of coins. Full pages. There's just so many. So many coins. Use my link. It's in the video description below. Help support the stream. Costs you nothing. You get a little bonus just for using my link. It's a win-win. Instead of the exchange keeping all of the fee, they give me 1%. And that helps fund the stream during these trying times. Checking on my grid spot. How are my grid spot bots doing? Not a lot of change actually since we looked at these last 2 days ago. They're all up, marginally 1 to 10%. I like them. I love spot grid trading. It's very similar to my manual trades. Highly recommend BingX if you're interested in spot grid. Just be aware. Use practice risk management. Only put in amounts you're willing to lose. You know the deal. Bitcoin's looking a little boring. I don't know how I feel about this time slot. 61% of you say this is the best one, but I'm not sure if the analytics back it up. Can I offer you an egg in these trying times? Exactly what I was thinking, Wick. We have some more It's Always Sunny fans, I see. Right on, love that show. When are new episodes coming? When new episodes? Anyway, shout out to Marketcipher and Bybit, our sponsors. Jump in the Discord. Make sure you're subscribed. We will be live again on Thursday. We'll see if it's going to be at 9:30 a.m. or not. I'll update you guys on this trade in the Discord. Make sure you're in there. That's all for today. Check out the playlist. Check out our playlist of short educational content. Great stuff. Links in the chat. I love you guys. I will see you Thursday. Crown out.